Hi, I'm Paul from Velo, and I've been loving my G-Line. It's been my main bike that I've been riding, and I really, really have been getting on well with it. But I'm wondering what to do with the two bottle bosses or bosses on the front of the Brompton. Come join me to find out what is a great plan for this little mounting system. I'm getting my G-Line ready for some bike packing stroke cycle touring. The plan at the moment is to take it to France, and we've got a couple of other trips planned before. So one option down there is you could put another bottle. That's another option. There is a bottle mounted on the stem, but let's do something more interesting. I wouldn't mind a little bit of additional luggage space. So what could we put on? Oh, look at this lovely cage from Restrap. Now I have a bag to put on there as well, which I'll show you in a while. But let's get this mounted. So as you probably noticed, there is no bolts in the forks at the moment. I've removed them. The Brompton bolts that came with the two bottle mounts, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're amazing. Definitely they seem a little bit not as good metal as I would like, but also the main thing is they're not as long as I would like. So the first thing I did was change the ones by the stem for just a longer one, because what you don't want to do is have a short bolt and then suddenly there's a bit of pressure on it, or like if this is down at the fork, suddenly something catches it and it just pulls all the thread because the bolt's too short. So I've got some nice longer bolts, and I always, when I install something like this, just to protect the paint, I like to just put a little washer on the inside of it. It just gives a nice kind of separation from this to the fork. So let's get fitting, see how it looks, and then see if the bag works on it as well. Let's go. So I've already put grease in the threads, which is really important. There's two positions that I could have this mount. So if you can see, the bolts will go through there, or I can have it there. I'm thinking that is going to be a bit too high because we're very close to the bag, so they could interfere with each other as the forks or handlebars are turned. So I'm going to go for there, and what I do is put this in nicely. I will put actually one washer on this side, that's good practice, and one washer on the other side. So there's a little bit of movement up and down. So I'll just get this one not super tight, but just into position before I install the other one. You can position it, I guess, what is there, 15 mil? You could maybe move it up and down, but I'm actually going to let it just sit with its natural weight on the bolts. I think that's going to be more sensible. It's kind of level with the through axle, so you'd still be able to get the through axle out. Let me double check. Yeah, so that is a good fitting. I think it's not going to interfere with the top bag, and it's not going to interfere with the through axle. So I've tightened them up. As mentioned, I do like to put washers on the inside. It just gives a little bit of a distance between the two, or a little bit of a gap. So which Sarah will show you just now. And here we have a lovely Restrap bag which fits onto this cage mount. Not sure how, so I'm going to figure that out as I go along. There are full instructions, of which I haven't looked at, but I should do. But this gives 5 litre capacity, so yeah, quite nice, fully waterproof, good to go. I think my plan is, when we go cycle touring, is to have probably pump, spares, lock, maybe food. I've got quite a nice lightweight lock, so as long as it doesn't put too much weight, I don't think it would be too bad, because you don't want too much weight so it affects the steering. Pouches of food, stuff nice and light that I'm going to need and I can get quick access to if required. Hopefully, if we've got spares of punctures and stuff like that and pumps, this never gets opened, because that is the cycle touring dream. Have your spares, and they're just going to get moldy and horrible, so you never open them because you never have any problems. Fingers crossed. So let's get fitting. So I've got it fitted. As mentioned, there's a lovely how-to video on the Restrap website. This system isn't just for Bromptons. It wasn't created for Bromptons. It's for any bike that has kind of external bottle cage bosses, so lots of gravel bikes. And anywhere where you can fit a cage and you want a cage. Let's see, it's got a coating, so nothing too heavy, but there's no movement on that. So let's give it a shake test and see how secure it is. So super secure. Let's have a chat about the straps. So there's lots of positions for the straps to go. So I guess it would be figuring out what suits you best. These straps have some extras. So there's two options here. They can be cut or threaded back on themselves. So you could cut them at an angle and then just put a lighter and it will melt the strap, and then that will just seal the ends. So that's an option. That's probably what I will do once I figured out what the maximum I need for the straps. These can always be tucked in here like this. This isn't a bad option. It means it's more secure if you tuck them back. So they won't be going anywhere and you can tuck them in there. So actually, I quite like that. I might leave them like that because that just leaves it really secure, and then I can access the top and get out what I need to get out. I'm glad I mounted it lower down because you can see that the clearance of the bag's there. Even you might want to do one more roll so it doesn't hit the bag, but really happy with it. I mean, Restrap do great products. I think most of you know that we support them here at Velo and sell them as well. So with this, I'm going to have the Restrap front bag, and I'm going to have a saddle bag, which we'll cover in another video. We'll do another video about my touring bike packing setup on the G line. So for the fold, this bag does get in the way. So when you put the handlebars down into their down position, this does restrict it. So if you want to fold the bike, this will need to be removed, which if you're on a bike packing adventure, you're not going to be folding the bike all the time. So this might not be great in a commuting situation. You'd want more the front bag, but in a bike packing touring situation, you're not, in my mind, you're not going to be folding the bike loads, if at all, depending on if you're getting on and off of trains. So this can just be easily removed, and almost you could have it just as a little handbag or a little bits bag. So I think it works really well. I think it's a nice way to just add that little bit more capacity to the G line. I think it looks cool. Everyone loves bike packing stuff, so why not? Absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to testing it. I'm going to the New Forest this weekend, so I'm going to leave this on, leave it in place, and see how I get on the trails. So thanks for watching the video. We've been super busy here at Velo, and we had a little bit of a break, so we haven't done videos as consistently as we would like. But we're hoping to do a lot more G-line videos. As mentioned, I'm going to the New Forest, so I'll do some videoing then. We are going to France. We've got a trip planned to Wales, and we need to look at bike packing setup, a kind of medium-term review, and just general G-line chat, as everyone seems to be really into it this season. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.